Hey everybody, welcome to The Inner Gaze. I'm Allie, and if you are new to my channel, thank you for joining, and if you like this video, please hit subscribe. The Inner Gaze is a channel that I created that has everything to do with a self-love journey, coming into one's own self through various mechanisms. I will share with you some forms of healing that I've learned along the way, some of my thoughts as things have come to me along the path. And also I'll be doing some transmissions, some guided meditations, some light language, and other healing things along the way. So today I think I really wanted to talk about what unconditional love is. So I believe we are headed now into a golden age, a new age of humanity. We are basically coming into a new stage, an evolution, if you will, of human consciousness. And if you've been sort of tuning in and finding yourself listening to these spiritual channels or whatever, you're seeing a lot of 1111, 333, 444. You're probably on this path. So this path is all leading us to this oneness, unity consciousness, this one heart, to an expansion of who we are, and sort of not saying goodbye to our egos entirely or our identities as individual human beings having an experience, but more having almost like a double experience of being able to feel as one heart with the collective, and tapping into that collective consciousness and that wisdom that our soul truly has, as we've been guided on this planet for all this time, but haven't been really able to tap in. So in other words, what that means is that we're going to be not only accessing the collective unconscious of the total population of all that is on this planet, but also intergalactically and in the divine way, all of Source's creation. So we are sort of tapping into this new technology. So when a lot of people talk about unity consciousness and unconditional love, it really made me think about how is that going to change our relationships moving forward. And some of our relationships might be, changing. Some friendships might not really be working out anymore or resonating anymore. People might be coming into your life that resonate really strongly. And what is happening is not that, anyone is bad or good, or any friendships are bad or good. What that just means is that as you raise your vibration, you then approach this place of unity consciousness. And it comes a point in time where certain vibrations just don't make sense or fit in the idea of unity consciousness. Some of those vibrations are emotions of, let's just say anger, rage, blame, feeling separate, feeling like someone's not listening, or no one's listening to your advice, or if you need some things from people, like in order to feel secure in a friendship, like those are just conditions. Like, okay, friendships of the past or relationships of the past, let's go into romantic relationships, because those are easy to relate to, I guess. A relationship based on condition is a relationship that looks for cues or indications from the other person that they, my cat, this is Theo, this is my cat, we have an unconditional love bond, right? He's a baby. Okay, let's say you're in a relationship and so-and-so is not showing you that they care by like not responding to your text messages in a timely manner, or kind of doing something that all of a sudden makes you go into this like fear, like, oh, if they do this or they don't do this, that means they don't love me. That's a condition. And when you base all relationships on conditions of, you know, if they do this or if they say this, that means then they must love me, you are still looking outside of yourself for the love that is really deep within. And until you break down that barrier, you're not going to find it in any of your relationships, because basically, from a quantum perspective, I'm wondering if, did this just get darker? Well, I don't know. Well, whatever. Okay. From a quantum perspective, if you are lacking anything within, like if you're seeking outside of yourself for love, affirmation, confirmation, someone to say that your opinions are right, that your opinions are valid, if you're looking for that from others, if you have expectations on others, all you are going to do is invite a lot of hardship into your life. Because when you are operating from a place of lack and need, you're going to get a lot of people who don't show you those things. Because the point is, you have signed up to learn love and to come into unity consciousness. And everything is designed exactly to show you actually how to then go within and love yourself. So if you're having hardships, always check within first. What am I asking of? What am I missing? What do I feel like I need? What are my rules? What are my constraints? Why do I always feel like I'm not getting this from people? It's because there's a part of you that is saying, hey, do that for me. Love me. Take care of me. Be honest with me. Like, screaming, really. And you're manifesting. I mean, basically you're manifesting these experiences in order to teach you how to come back to love. So, look, I'm not there yet. I'm not 100% in this place of unconditional love for myself. But I am feeling a lot more in that place. And I am feeling a lot more at ease with everything that is in my immediate surroundings and all the friendships and the people that have entered my immediate surroundings and who are remaining in my immediate surroundings, because I know they're meant to be there, because we're matching on a vibrational level. Everything is energy. And the higher you go, not higher as in levels, I mean like higher as in frequency. I mean like as you shed the density, that is the anger, the neediness, the expectations, the need for anticipated outcomes, all of those things, when those go away, all there is love. And the more you release, the more you shed, the actual higher and lighter you get. I'm not saying that there is a level to this. Everyone is part of this journey, no matter where you are. So, remove the hierarchies. Okay. Part of the reason why this planet is so hard to ascend in is because of all of the programming that exists in our societal template. There are very, very distinct patterns of teaching that a being learns when they enter this planet. First, separation. There is a forgetting that we are all connected and connected to source, right? Second, love is external. So, two things. Source or God or whatever you want to call it is external to us. It's a separate thing that only special people get to be part of. And two, love is external to us. And it has to be rewarded or given, or sometimes it's not always there. Sometimes, you know, it's not always going to be there. And that's scary. So those are two false things that are created just by societal's programming. Then there's tons of other programming out there. I mean, all these streaming, the racism, the gender, you know, discrimination, the sexual orientation discrimination. I mean, like, there's just so ageism. There's so many structures that streamline people into different groups to make people feel just like terrible and so far from love. And societal pressures, the politics, like financial structures, all these things in place are, you know, basically to keep us in line as like human beings. It's all like a method of control. But what it is it's teaching you how to grow more distant from love. It's teaching a person to look outside of themselves to make them happy. That's the very first thing that you want to get rid of. Outside of yourself to make you happy, it's not outside of yourself. It's inside of yourself. I mean, it's always been inside of yourself. So anyway, okay, let's see. What does a relationship look like in the new age? Free. It looks like freedom. It looks like not needing anything of anyone else. Being grateful for every moment that you're in one another's presence and connecting on a much more profound way. Connecting through one heart. And does that mean that we'll be even communicating with words? Who knows? Because language is yet another programmed structure that keeps us in a place of misunderstanding. My cat. Why are there so many languages? I mean, there are so many cultures, of course, but like certain languages have certain words for certain things, then other languages don't have those words for things. So how can people truly convey meaning to one another in the same way? Like, it's hard. There's so many misunderstandings, but the one thing that is never misunderstood is love. What does that feel like? What does that really feel like when you're connecting with another being? So marriages are not going to be promises to make other people happy for the rest of your life. I promise to hold you and keep you safe and honor you and provide your happiness and money for the rest of our lives. Maybe this is why I'm single still. But that is not a vow I'm going to take ever. Not in this lifetime. So what does it look like? It's probably a mutual agreement to continue to love and cherish yourself and to honor the other person's journey and to always love them wherever they're at and to give one another the freedom to pursue your most highest and greatest authentic self and find your own true bliss. Whoa, that's a very, very different thing. Friendships are not going to be, I love this friend because they do this for me when I'm in need. Or I love this friend because they listened to me when I was down. Or I know I love this friend because when it comes down to it, they know exactly what to say when I'm in a situation where I need to hear words. Those are all conditions. They're not love. And the more we break down conditions, the more we break down our ego, the more easy our relationships are going to be, because everyone is going to be feeling themselves and living up to their highest potential. And naturally, when you are fueling yourself with love, when you're connecting to source energy and you are able to have unlimited love pouring in and you're in a state of balance, then the natural state is to give. To give. And a society can function on a whole lot of super full givers. Just freely giving out love without expectation, without need. Without need. How often do you feel like you're in need of others? How often do you find yourself in a place of resentment because you had an expectation and then that expectation didn't play out the way you wanted it to? I know I've been there 100 bazillion times. I'm like the queen of expectations. Well, half the reason that you're upset is because you had an expectation to begin with, and you shouldn't have. Try to notice when you find yourself in places of neediness. A good signal is that you're getting anxious, angry. Those are all good signals to tell you you need to give yourself love, or you need to observe what it is that is rattling you right now. Because there's an unheard part of yourself that wants a talk and wants to talk to you and wants a hug and needs you right now. It is not for someone else to do for you. And I'm going to be straight up. I created a healing website, theinnergaze.com, and it feels right for me to say that I'm a healer. But healers aren't always the ones. And I know that I call this the inner gaze because this is about me guiding others and helping them face their shadows and release and find the love that they seek within. That is what I'm here to help do. So some people might say, oh, if you're a healer, you're supposed to take away my pain. And what might happen, and this is like from a personal experience, you know, the expectation is that, oh, you're a healer now, so you must be compassionate at all time. You're never going to cause me anger. That's an expectation I've gotten, you know, from some friends who don't really understand that just because I'm on this path doesn't mean that I'm gonna start acting in a way that, how do I put this? I'm a catalyst, okay? So there could be some triggering that happens. And I've triggered many people, especially close friends and family. And that is just allowing, and if this is happening to you, again, like, just observe it. If you're being triggered by something, meaning you start feeling that inner rage, that anxious rage, I call that anxiety. Someone's really upsetting you, check yourself. Really check yourself. Because if you're not in a state of peace or calm, that's you telling you to look at you. And I know it's hard to take pain and take accountability for it. And that's hard. But it's through that accountability, on the other side of that pain is where the love is. And on the other side of that pain, in that love, is where we find unexplainable connections, dreams coming true, happiness, the ability to manifest, and really evolve. So I know that when triggering happens, it can be really sensitive and there could be a lot of lashing out. And there's probably a better way to handle these things moving into the new age, because people are going to start getting triggered like a lot as we continue to have these energies coming in, and as karmic cycles are ending, a lot of blocks are being removed, or at least they're being presented in a way that someone can see the pattern and break it themselves. So I think what I'm trying to say is that where we're headed is a place of freedom. It's a place of, you know, everything is energy, and everything is going to be love, ultimately. But before we can get there, it's really important to understand moments when you're confronted with panic or anger and look at those very seriously and find yourself just check yourself if you're trying to blame it on an external source, because you're just asking to have that same thing repeated. If you need retribution, if you need justice, if you need blah, 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 blah. Some things happen just so you can see your own pain. It's not because you deserve it. It's because it's the only way out of it. Anyway, this was like a lot. And I do want to keep talking about the new age and friendships and relationships and what they look like when they're not condition based and when they're actually in balance and harmony. And I'd love to have an example to show you what that looks like, and I have a few, but we're only at the start of this. So if you have any questions, or if you have any comments, or if you feel just like totally triggered by this video, please just like let me know. If it doesn't make sense at all, that's fine too. But I love you, and I really appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks.